Just for today, do not be angry. Now, this principle isn't an affirmation. It isn't designed to airbrush, suppress, or negate anger. It's meant to bring it up. To deal with it, we need to be aware of it. Anger is triggered by disappointment, shock, insecurity, or just being interrupted. We were expecting something that turned out to be different. Anger is an emotion and a valid one. When we get angry, we lose control of that emotion sometimes. To live by the above principle, we must understand what triggers our anger. Anger is usually a pretty good sign that a boundary has been crossed somewhere. It is a valid emotion if it isn't something you are in a constant state of feeling. And that's the difference. We're not spiritual bypassing, we're not all love, light, rainbows, and unicorns. You're allowed to be angry. You shouldn't be in a constant state of being angry. That's where the issues are. In Chinese herbal medicine, the liver is the seat of anger in our bodies. All emotions find a home in our bodies, and the liver holds our rate. There are things happening around us that make us angry, and we feel this necessary emotion. It is a misconception that spiritual people cannot or should not get mad. What is more violent than silence? This behavior cuts others off. Your silence is violence to the self and others. When you are silent and angry, your actions are still that of anger. Silent rage can find its manifestation in the body. Inflammation, autoimmune issues, and thyroid conditions are an inflamed spirit letting it out through the body. Many of us struggle to recognize and deal with anger on our spiritual path. But anger is a catalyst to change. When nourished and directed, it motivates us to grow and create change for ourselves, our families, and our communities. Now, every time you meet someone, there is an exchange of energy. If you're both happy and find the meeting was enjoyable, then that energy exchange is neutral. However, if you lose control of your emotions and become angry, the other person steals your energy. Likewise, if someone gets angry at you, then you're stealing their energy. There's a book called The Celestine Prophecy, and this is a good book on the subject of stealing energy. And it's something that I'll cover more in the Reiki 2 course, but you can always grab the book ahead of time and read it, or if you can find the movie, watch that. With this simple philosophy, you can counter the endless situations or people that in the past have triggered your anger. So next time someone honks their car horn at you or criticizes you for no apparent reason, smile and say to yourself, I'm not going to let them steal my energy. Just imagine how much better you'll feel when you choose not to react to negative people or situations. How many times in the past have you shouted abuse at another car driver and still felt the anger in your stomach an hour or so later? That person stole your energy. Now, emotions last normally about 90 seconds. They come in and they're supposed to go in and go out and move, supposed to flow. But sometimes we hold on to them for hours later because we keep replaying things in our mind. Oh, I should have done this. Oh, I could have done that. It wasn't my fault. I was right. They were wrong. We play it over and over and over the loop, and that makes neural pathways in our brain that makes our brain think we're still going through the situation. Our brain can't tell what the difference between what's happening right now and what happened an hour ago. So hanging on to it and rethinking it, like I'm a verbal processor. So I got to talk about it to process it. But doing that makes whatever it is I'm processing stick longer in my brain and cause more issues. Unfortunately, that's the way I'm built, but that is what happens when you when you verbally process it or mentally process something over and over, it causes more neural pathways, and that emotion to get stuck in there causes more issues than if you just experience it and let it go. So the person who beeped at you and then you flipped out on them, they probably drove away laughing at how silly you looked when you lost your composure. You allow them to cause you stress, anger, and probably indigestion. Only one person came out of this confrontation with their energy intact, and it wasn't you. On a physical level, anger can cause stomach and digestive disorders. And I want to stress that I am not saying you should never get angry. You should never be mad. That is totally not what I'm saying. It is a valid emotion. You're entitled to feel it, but you want to find out what's causing it and what you need to change to make it process further. There was something else I read where it's frustration. First, you're frustrated, and then you're angry, and then I think it should go into a rage. So you've got frustration, anger's like in the middle before you lose your cool totally and go into that rage. So when you feel yourself getting frustrated, that's a warning that something is triggering you that's going to make you angry in a minute, and you need to figure out what it is and how to diffuse the situation or change the situation to keep you from feeling the need to be angry. Still valid, but something needs to change so that you don't have to feel that way anymore. And now we're going to spend 30 seconds doing our meditation for anger. Again, you want one hand in the root position, the other hand in the middle of your forehead. So you're going to use Reiki to assist the rebalancing process. Place one hand on the third eye chakra and the other hand on the root chakra. Keep your hands there for as long as you intuitively feel it is necessary. This Reiki technique will help you control and balance this emotion. Can be used for yourself or on another person. And just for this course, we're going to do this for the next 30 seconds. And we'll move on to our next principle.